Want to lead in today talking about President Trump's first 100 days in office. I think, well, what we covered in the beginning of our show, and what probably is the crown jewel of those 100 days, is the final enforcement of border security. We've seen a complete shutdown at the U.S. southern border. Nearly 100% apprehensions, crossings, drug interdictions, etc. It's allowing us to do the things we need to do, get the people who were illegally let into this country under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris apprehended and removed to countries of their origin or other places. And just kind of want to get your commentary on, listen, there was a lot of people who said you couldn't flick border security on with a light switch, and here President Trump came in and did it on day one.
Well, you're exactly right. And I think all of us are very thankful as Americans for President Trump's leadership and doing exactly what he said he was going to do. On the campaign trail, rally after rally, event after event, he brought the American people to understand the serious crisis that we were facing at the border, and he was going to work to take care of it. And here we are 100 days later, CBP reported 95% drop in southern border encounters, 99.9% drop in catch and release, 135,000 illegals deported, including 600 Tren de Aragua members, and thousands of MS-13 and 18th Street gang members have self-deported. And so, I mean, there's just no way of describing it of any other way than just it really is miraculous. The kind of work that President Trump has been able to do in these first 100 days when it comes to our border.
You know, I think you had mentioned self-deportations. That's such a great statistic, Congressman. I think we're going to see a lot more of it moving forward, because when they understand that President Trump is closing off any possible avenues to legal status here in the United States, especially if they cross the border previously over the last 4 years illegally. In addition to that, the possibility, if you're an aggravated criminal here in the United States and you're apprehended after committing crimes by ICE, there is a potentiality that you might not necessarily make it back to your country of origin first. You could go to Gitmo, you could go to CCOT, and from what I've seen, I mean, they are some of the most state-of-the-art ways to handle the worst of the worst on this planet. But at the same time, they're not really a vacation destination for most people who are looking to live a better life here in the United States. What do you think?
Oh, I think you're spot on. And I think, again, the president is really using that as a deterrent. I love the way that you see Secretary Noem on television and commercials, basically letting folks know if you're here illegally, you need to go home. Because if you'll go home and you'll self-deport and go through the proper channels, there's a chance that you can come back and be a part of this United States and do it legally. But if we catch you and we deport you, then it's not going to be a matter of you coming back. And I think that is so critical that that message gets out there, because this president has marked his 100 days by truly being a man who says what he means and means what he says. And I think that has restored a confidence in the American people that we have a real leader in the White House right now.
That's an absolute truth right there. You know, I do want to talk to you about trade. It's such a huge component. The American-made businesses here in America, but especially in places like North Carolina, known for so many decades for the creation and manufacturing of furniture and things of that nature. Listen, President Trump has leveled the playing field in regards to trade deals. We just got an announcement within the last hour from Secretary Lutnick that not a proposal, but an actual first trade deal of the reworking of post-liberation Day legislation is now done, and they're going to announce that probably today at President Trump's rally, as he's just departed the White House for Joint Andrews Air Force Base. But, you know, seeing the reinvigoration and the reinvestment in American manufacturing and the importance of the craftsmanship that goes into it and making products here in the United States, I know it's such a huge critical component of how the economy works in North Carolina. And to have a president back in the White House with a Congress that wants to work with him, who's going to empower those small businesses to be great again, I just kind of want to get your commentary, how it's looked in district and beyond.
Well, when I look at the 8th Congressional District, we in many ways are an area that has really suffered as a result of bad trade deals. And one of the things that struck me that President Trump has said in these first 100 days is he said, look, it's bad. We've been on the wrong end of so many of these trade deals. And he said, and quite frankly, I don't blame these countries for taking advantage of the United States or for the deal that they were able to make, because they were doing what was best for their interest. Who I blame are those that have been sitting in the Oval Office and sitting in the executive branch that should have been negotiating better deals